This is CNN Breaking News.
Perché il fatto non sussiste, respingendo la domanda proposta nei loro confronti dalle parti civili Tattanelli al Dalila. Ordina l'immediata liberazione di Knox, Amanda, Marie e sollecito Raffaele, se non detenuti per altra causa. Per favore. Silenzio! Silenzio, per favore! Silenzio! Indica per il deposito della motivazione il termine di giorni.
All right, so there you have it. You heard it in Italian. The bottom line, Amanda Knox, 24 years old, after 4 years in prison, is now about to become a free woman. Also, her former boyfriend, Rafael Solicito, 27 years old. He's about to become a free man. Both of their verdicts, both of their guilty verdicts from the murder of Meredith Kercher, 21 years old at the time, 4 years ago, overturned by 6 jurors, 2 judges, in a dramatic moment that we all saw live here on CNN. You're looking at these live pictures coming in from Perugia. We want to welcome our viewers in the United States and around the world. I'm Wolf Blitzer in the Situation Room. We're going to cover all of this extensively. That's coming up. But let's listen in right now. Amanda Knox's sister speaking in Perugia.
Not only did they defend her brilliantly, but they also loved her. We are thankful for the support we have received from all over the world. People who took the time to research the case and could see that Amanda and Rafael, they were innocent. And last, we are thankful to the court for having the courage to look for the truth and to overturn this conviction. We now respectfully ask you to give Amanda and the rest of our family our privacy that we need to recover from this horrible ordeal. Thank you.
Brava.
Thank you.
Che avete fatto? Venga qua, per così almeno facciamo per tutti.
So there you heard Deanna Knox, the younger sister of Amanda Knox, speaking out, expressing her gratitude. We're going to be hearing a lot from the prosecutors, from the defense. Let's listen in. We're going to be getting a lot more reaction coming in. Dramatic developments in Perugia, Italy. Amanda Knox is now about to become free. We're told she's going to be leaving the courthouse, taken back to prison, but eventually, probably within a matter of only a few hours, she will be released, as well as her former boyfriend, Rafael Solicito, 27 years old. She's 24 years old, and this dramatic word just coming in. Jeffrey Toobin, our senior legal analyst, is watching all of this unfold. Jeffrey, the conviction was upheld on a much lesser charge, basically, but she's about to become a free woman.
She sure is, Wolf. And based on what I know of the evidence, if this were an American courtroom, they would have reached the same result. This was a very thin case. Remember, there were 3 defendants in this case. There is an overwhelming evidence for guilt against one of the defendants, Gude, who is in prison serving 16 years. But as for Amanda Knox and her boyfriend, the evidence is almost entirely these garbled, forced confessions and a highly, highly disputed one example of DNA. That is simply not enough to keep someone in prison for 25 years, much less for life. And this seems like a just verdict. It seems like a verdict that a good American courtroom would render, and she's coming home.
She's coming home very quickly. Becky Anderson is outside the courthouse watching all of this unfold. All right, quickly, Becky, set the scene for us. What's going on now? I think this is the criminal defense attorney who represented Amanda Knox speaking to reporters at that microphone right now.
That's in fact Solicito's lawyer, I believe. We've just heard from Amanda Knox's lawyer. Her family have gone back in. Dean Knox making a very short statement on behalf of the family. She was there with her father. They've gone back in to the courtroom. One assumes that they'll have a chance to spend some time with Amanda Knox. Now, you're right in saying that we believe that she'll be returned to prison, but simply to pick up her things and fill out the paperwork. Her American passport had actually expired. What we believe now that that has also been sorted out, so she can leave the country just as soon as they can get her on a flight. Matthew Chance was in the courtroom when the decision on appeal was delivered. Matt, just to take us through what you saw and heard.
Yeah, absolutely incredible scenes, Becky. Inside, it was very tense as we saw Amanda Knox come in. She looked devastated, frankly, and exhausted. She was pale, she was stressed. She looked like that throughout the course of the last few days, as a matter of fact, but this time it was much worse. She was sitting on the chair, sobbing, talking to her lawyer next to her. Then, when the jury came in, everybody stood up in the court and sat down again, and the decision was delivered very quickly. Amanda Knox has been acquitted of all charges except for the charge of defamation, where she named Patrick Lumumba, the bar owner here in Perugia, as being the person that carried out the killing. That still stands. But what it means is that after 4 years in jail, of course, she can walk free tonight, potentially after she's done the paperwork that you mentioned, and that murder conviction against her and against her former boyfriend, Raffaele Sollecito, who was also acquitted tonight, has been quashed by this court in Perugia.
The Kercher family, of course, were there as well. As they walked in, I asked Lyle Kercher, Meredith's brother, how they were feeling, and he just said nervous, and they looked exhausted. How did they respond to the decision? Very, very different, obviously. It was a stark contrast. While there were whoops and cheers in the kind of Amanda Knox corner, if you like, of the courtroom, just in front of me was seeing Arlene Kercher, the mother of Meredith Kercher, Stephanie Kercher, her sister as well. And they were very silent when they heard this verdict come through, this acquittal come through. The mother, Arlene, sat there in silence, but you could see that her tears were welling up in her eyes. Stephanie Kercher broke down in tears and was being comforted by the person next to her. And it's understandable because obviously they've been through absolute hell in the past several years. And they wanted very much for the original verdict in the first trial, which found Amanda and Raffaele guilty of murder. They wanted that to be upheld because they believed there was good reason to suspect that Amanda and Raffaele did do it. But, I mean, as we've seen tonight in these dramatic scenes here in Perugia, the jury on this occasion did not agree with them and has set them free. Okay, and we're just hearing a lot of sound from around us as people respond to some of the legal teams who are making their way out from this courthouse. There's two exits here, and we're just hearing the sort of similar discussions that we, or similar response that we heard at the beginning of the beginning of the decision-making process. I'm joined now by Amanda Knox's lawyer here. You must be absolutely delighted this evening.
We are satisfied with the decision of the court. We were expecting this rectification of this mistake, so we're fully satisfied. Amanda is released. She wants to go back home. She's been waiting for this. She always confirmed that she was a friend of Meredith, and so this has been accepted with relief, yes.
Let's go over some of the facts here. When will she be able to leave Italy?
As soon as possible, I think. She wants to go home. She's here with the family, so we need to go and take her out from the prison right now. And as we organize the procedure, she will be in a position to go back home. She really wants to go back home. She's not leaving Italy. She likes Italy. She likes Perugia. She will be back. She came here for this reason. She just wants to go home now.
Do they have a flight booked for her?
I don't think so. No, I'm not aware and I'm not involved.
Okay, hold on for 1 second. Let me just ask you one thing. I just need to get this correct. I heard she was acquitted of all charges aside from defamation. We heard the sentence of 3 years there.
Yes.
She won't serve any more time. Is that because she's already served 4?
Correct. The time has passed, therefore she doesn't serve, and the court has ordered the immediate release.
All right, okay, I'm going to have to let you go. Thank you very much indeed for joining us this evening. Quite a remarkable scene outside the courthouse here in Perugia. You've heard the news. Amanda Knox, straight from the lawyer's mouth there, is now free to go. They're going to take her back to the prison, but she wants to get out. Even though she loves Italy, she enjoyed her time here before this all started back in 2007. She is desperate to get home. Now, Wolf.
So, Becky, as we watch what unfolds right now, correct me if I'm wrong, she's still in that courthouse right now. She's going to be taken back to the prison, get her documents under order, if you will, get her any personal stuff that she might want to take out of there, and then she's going to be going to an airport. Presumably she'll get a new passport because her old passport is expired, and the family wants to get her out of Italy on her way back home as quickly as possible. Is that the scenario that you're being told will happen?
Yeah, absolutely. That is That is exactly the scenario. The family came out, and you were in your program when you heard Dina Knox, her sister, speaking, but they didn't then leave the courthouse. They went back in. One can only assume that's because they wanted to go back in and spend some time with Amanda before she leaves. We've seen her come back and forth today. Right at the beginning of the day, she was brought from the prison in a police van with the sirens wailing. She went right past here. She then left after they had made their pleas of innocence, as it were. They left, both of them, her former boyfriend and her, in that same police van. They were brought back about an hour or so ago. So one assumes that we'll hear the wailing of that siren once again as they are taken back to the prison. But this time it will be, of course, for the last time. Wolf?
You know, I want to play, Becky, this clip. Deanna Knox, the sister of Amanda Knox, just moments ago speaking on behalf of the family.
Hello?
It's not working.
I don't know. Should I just talk?
I don't think anything's working.
I don't think it's supposed to project.
Is it supposed to project?
No, you want to say something?
Yeah, she's going to statement.
I think you can say. Funziona, no? Può fare una dichiarazione?
Hello.
Prego. Prego.
Great. I'm Deanna Knox, Amanda Knox's sister, and I just have a few words on behalf of our family. We're thankful that Amanda's nightmare is over. She has suffered for 4 years for a crime that she did not commit. We are thankful for our lawyers, Carlo De La Vedova, Luciano Girga, and Maria Del Grosso, and their assistants. Not only did they defend her brilliantly, but they also loved her. We are thankful for the support we have received from all over the world. People who took the time to research the case and could see that Amanda and Raphael were innocent. And last, we are thankful to the court for having the courage to look for the truth and to overturn this conviction. We now respectfully ask you to give Amanda and the rest of our family our privacy that we need to recover from this horrible ordeal. Thank you.
So there she is, the sister of Amanda Knox, Deanna Knox, speaking on behalf of the family. Becky Anderson is still watching all of this unfold. Becky, I guess a lot of viewers in the United States and around the world are going to ask what happened in between the time of the original conviction for murder until now. There were a lot of new pieces of information that came out, but the most damning, I guess, was the fact that the DNA evidence apparently that resulted in the original conviction against her and Rafael Solocito, that original DNA evidence was tainted.
Yeah, and of course that was what the appeal was really based on. That was the key DNA evidence. It was DNA on the knife that the prosecutors said was used to commit the murder, and DNA samples on a bra strap. And when the independent investigators came back in June and said that it shouldn't be admissible in court, it was contaminated, it was questionable evidence, it was then that people really began to believe that Amanda Knox actually might be acquitted of what was a brutal murder and a brutal sexual assault. Let's remember she has been acquitted on all charges bar that of defamation. She was sentenced to 3 years for that, but has also already they've already served 4 years. I think we've got a protest going on. I'm not sure if we've got the picture up for you. If we haven't, I can describe, I think, what is going on. There's a police car just leaving to my right-hand side. Let's get the camera over here. It's very difficult to know at this stage who is involved in which sort of transport. We are waiting for Amanda Knox to be returned to prison. We're expecting that she'll be returned to prison in the police van that she's left
in. All right, it looks like we lost that picture, but we're going to reconnect with Becky in a moment. Matthew Chance is on the scene for us as well. Jeffrey Toobin is back. Becky, can you still hear me?
I can still hear you, Wolf, yeah.
All right, so let's talk about this protest.
Yeah, and what you're
these
looking at
people
is
who are upset about the conviction being overturned?
Yeah, there are people who are protesting the decision here. We heard some cheers of victory. We've also heard cheers of shame. I think the shot that you're sitting on now is a shot of Amanda Knox's lawyer, who we spoke to just moments ago. He's obviously absolutely delighted. She had a big team of lawyers. He was one of the leading lawyers, and he says that that she is, as we know now, free to leave Italy after she picks up her stuff from prison. He doesn't know, Wolf, whether there is a ticket booked for her, but one can only assume that the family, the Knox family, has been putting preparations in place, hoping that they get the result that they were hoping for today. And we heard Dina Knox, of course, talking earlier on. Wolf?